Sir, good morning, Shyam Prasad, sir.
Yeah, madam. Very good morning. Very good morning.
Yeah, this is Krishna Prasad, CSCHOD. Welcome to our session, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. A very warm welcome to our eminent speaker and my dear participants. Myself, Likita, Vice Chair, IEEE SVCE Women Engineering Affinity Group, and your host for today's session. Before we invite our eminent speaker, I would like to give few instructions to all our participants to maintain the decorum of the event. Please don't turn your video or audio during the session. Kindly don't spam the chat box. You may send your queries at any time during the presentation by typing in the chat box. We will collect those and Sir will address them during the question and answer session at the end of the presentation. And we request our participants not to interrupt the speaker during the session. Now, I would like to take the privilege to introduce our honorable speaker, Mr. Shyam Prasad Rajashekaran, sir. We are pleased to offer you a warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Shyam Prasad Rajashekaran, sir, is the co-founder and chief operations at Vejroot Agritech Private Limited, which he dreams to be one of the India's most efficient B2C supply chain platform, connecting farmers and consumers by involving varied processes and employing technology, now at 5 different cities across India. He also addresses at educational institutions on entrepreneurship, funding, startup building, technologies, and much more. He has shared his knowledge through 500 plus motivational talks. His eloquence has influenced millions of great hearts, proceeds to inspire techie building products, and creates employment opportunities for the unemployed. Sir serves as one of the board of studies member to many engineering and art colleges, along with varied universities across the India. He serves as a mentor to TBIs as well as to Smart India Hackathon organized by Government of India. There were many failures during the early stages of his career too, but by focusing on the positive outcomes and possibilities, he grew beyond the obstacles and now leads to be a good guide to everyone who is in search of a platform to grow. He might also help educational institutions to go ahead with setting up of TBI, Center of Excellence, and much more, which with his sound of knowledge and connect you with the right minds across the India. Now, without any further delay, I request our respected speaker, Mr. Shyam Prasad Rajashekaran sir, to take over the session. Over to you, sir.
Very good morning to one and all present here. It's such a great honor and privilege to be invited by SVCE Tirupati for the program today. So, as a speaker, I feel very much honored and humbled to have been present in front of you all, virtually, to talk about entrepreneurship and also post-pandemic opportunities in entrepreneurship. So, yeah, entrepreneurship is always very close to my heart. So, I'm 25-year-old boy hailing from a middle-class background from the place called Coimbatore. I reside at Chennai. So I'll just give a brief about how I started, how I came into my journey of entrepreneurship and how things had changed my life and, how business have changed my life and things actually. Yeah. So basically I'm a backbencher. I don't study well. So I have just scored around 271 in my 10th standard actually. So what my parents did was they had to admit me in diploma, and I had to get into diploma. Although like 3 years of diploma was such a great honor and pleasure for me, learning so many things practically. And probably at that point of time, I had to realize that I'm around 18 years. So where I'm eligible for doing a startup or might be, coming into the journey of entrepreneurship or something related to this actually. So then I started, myself searching for some good mentors and, people who will be helpful for my career or might be throughout the journey, whichever has been possible. So I found the right person, which we together started an NGO called No Food Waste, which is basically, we collect some untouched excess food from functions, parties, and marriage halls, and we do deliver it to hungry stomachs across the city called Coimbatore. That is how we started. We started with 2 shopper bags. Wherever the food is being, we used to go there, pick it up, then pack, then we deliver it to hungry stomachs across the city. That is how that was the first career which I started in fact, and the blessings was the first salary of my life probably, which I got from people by feeding them. And probably the days passed by. So now we operate in 12 different cities across India. There was lot many struggles being faced. There were lot many problems we have been going through. Probably within 12 months of time, we had been now at close to 12 destinations across India. So we started in 2014 when I was in the age of 18. We started, and now I'm at the age of 24. So probably it's about close to 6 years of journey. So the first 2 years was very terrible. First 2 years was very hectic. Probably the passion and things made me to believe that every dream is possible. So I started going through many tough times, but probably the satisfaction was the only motivation factor where I had to come across many struggles. Although the satisfaction which I had out of feeding people, I had out of helping people without even having single rupee in my hand was something happy, and that was such an happiest moment in life, in fact. And I came across to 21 years of age. So it is about 2-3 years of journey probably. And I had to, come across many statements, in fact. So we have been also running startups. So basically my first commercial startup was completely based on tech-based training programs for schools and colleges across South India. And probably the brand name was Twill Technology Solutions Private. So I was the founder for that. I started the business with just 9 rupees in my hand. I started with just having 9 rupees in my hand. I had huge hope, good idea, and the right solution, the right problem statement which I chosen was the right statement, in fact. So according to that, I started developing such a brief solution based on technology. So I employed technology, and slowly it started, making some good revenue. Within 2 years of time, it was about a 30-40 member company, and today it's growing well. But being a founder, and I was pushed out of the organization, by having few investors during the last pandemic. I had to exit the company being the biggest dream in life is not just about to be employed within the organization. So I had to create employments. Money is always a byproduct. That is what I believe always. So don't have in your mind that you always wanted money to build a business, or you always wanted money to scale up your business or anything. So only thing you wanted is the brave heart, probably the right problem statement, and according to the statement which you have identified as a problem, you have to give such a good solution, whereas other companies haven't done so far. And probably it should also be global, so that it might be attracted by many segments of people, and they all become your customers. So that is what I believe. And I always have three things in my mind. Also, you can also follow, which will be helpful for you people. So start with what you have, do what you like, and do what you know. So always start with what you have. Don't wait for an opportunity. Just go beyond. Start with what you have. If you have a sheet of paper and a pen, just write an idea. Go talk with few people. Take all the reviews about the idea. Start building into a prototype. Then convert into a product. Go sell the product to customers. Take all the feedback from the customers, whatever you receive. Again, come back. Have set of ideas framed by people like Niti Aayog, people like MSMEs are ready to fund for your startup idea. If you don't have investments, don't worry about it. So start with what you have. Then do what you like. That is the most important factor beyond. So always do what you like. Don't do what others are liking, or don't do what others are trying or imparting that to you. Okay. So always do what you like. Don't wait for anyone or anything, right? And do what you know. Don't wait for things that I have to learn, I have to keep on studying, then I'll take up an opportunity. Don't think like that. You always dream that every dream is possible. So do what you know. That's it, actually. So always don't wait for an opportunity. Waiting for an opportunity is always like waiting for a boat in the desert. It is like obviously waiting for a boat in the desert. Boat also never arrives in the desert. So you have to think like this. And when you start thinking about building a startup, when you start thinking about building a company, when you start thinking about building a team, should never wait. Actually, you should start immediately. Whereas things won't be in place at some point of time when you start doing it, when you start working towards your dream, everything will be all right at some time. So last year again, I came into the second startup idea, which was completely into agri-tech space, where like Big Basket and other big companies are doing. I came into this idea last year. I had around 22 customers for the first day. I had to connect farmers and consumers. This brand is so-called Veg Root Agri-Tech Private Limited. Veg Root. So vegetables, the root we deliver vegetables. So that's the brand name actually. So Veg Root is the brand. And we are into agri-tech space. Probably we are building a B2C supply chain platform connecting farmers and consumers. So in between, we employ technology. We bring in so many different solutions. And probably we also thrive. We also thrive to be, the best B2C supply chain platform in and across India. And I would like to showcase you a small presentation, whereas what we do within a couple of minutes, so that it will be understandable for you people. Also, we connect farmers. Connecting farmers, connecting India is our tagline, and probably we are building to be the most efficient B2C supply chain platform, connecting farmers and consumers. So we have been recently recognized by Government of India under DIPP, also by Employee Technology. We believe that we can make wonders. So we operate now in 5 different destinations across India, connecting over 1,000 farmers with over 14,000 customers, and 30 people are on board as of last month's report. And what makes us to be different? We eradicate middleman engagement. We eradicate aggregators. Probably 100% gain of procurement has been happening. We understand demand and pricing between variations in market level. So our stakeholders are farmers, customers, and community. So how we operate? We go to farmers. We collect the procurement. We collect all the vegetables from the farmers. We bring it to the collection hubs and centers. We make a quality check. We have a device on IoT which has been developed. And then the safe packaging is being involved, and delivery is happening to homes and retailers actually. So our market size is about 6 cities now. We operate with over 14,000 plus customers, and our revenue is close to 4 million INR. It is about 11 months old company, which has lots of dreams and ideas with great values to the stakeholders being part of this. So our initiatives are pack and deliver model, microgreen stores, innovative veggie and community operated stores, whereas everything will be brief on my LinkedIn profile, whereas you can also understand. We also have we also have wonderful initiative for franchisee models, whereas it is very interesting model which we have framed. And probably I think at some point of time we decided that we will be able to grow, and we are just growing far. So today we have close to 100 people being employed with us. So starting from journey of 9 rupees to a journey of revenue today. So we have been thriving very hard to build, but I always think that by employing technology you can make wonders, right? So I think the scope of entrepreneurship beyond the post-pandemic will be, post-pandemic where countries like US, UK, or might be France, Germany, Italy, and they are seeing what are the different scopes that has been available in this particular, during this particular pandemic, and what kind of steps that you can take to eradicate such kind of initiatives, where as to eradicate middlemen or might be initiatives actually. So you might have 3 different sectors which have definitely have a good boom within another 3 or 4 months down the line. So first goes for online based education, first goes for online streaming based education, or might be tech based education, or might be completely on hands-on learning based education for the next 3 or 4 months will be a good boom. In fact, we are working on that. And beyond that, might be getting into food based initiatives, whatever it might be, where you have good scope of growth for the next 3-4 months down the line. Food based initiatives, maybe online or offline, whatever it might be. And also beyond that, healthcare related technologies, healthcare related products, healthcare related domains, or anything related to healthcare will be on a good scale, probably. And also beyond that, healthcare, and also sanitation based initiatives based on cleanliness, based on safety, based on precautionary measures. So those kind of initiatives, these are 4 trending things as of now, which I see as it might be into a good scale of growth within another 3 or 4 months down the line. So probably post-pandemic, these are few business ideas, whereas you can come into the business ideas, whereas you might grow beyond and beyond these four or five things down the line. So first goes for technology-based education, that too happens online. So if it's going to be hands-on training, and if you're going to develop any products by your mindset, probably on IoT, probably on development things, so that can be given to people also, that for that you can charge something, what other Byju's or big companies are doing today. So the same can be adopted by you. And also second thing, as I already told, food-based initiatives. Any sorts of food-based initiatives can be into good growth. And also beyond that, you can also start working on sanitizing. You can also start working on cleanliness-based initiatives. Whereas you probably beyond that, based on healthcare products, based on healthcare initiatives, you can take a good step. Whereas you also have good scope of growth. So focus on any one thing. Don't focus on multiple things, and don't rely on multiple things, because taking up multiple things, you will be thinking like you have took so many responsibilities and it doesn't work out at some point, right? So always take one thing at a time and always work on that completely. It is not just about earning money; it is about sourcing great people. So business is not just about earning money; it's about sourcing great people. So always think about sourcing right set of people into your, and probably there are many funding agencies like MSME, there are funding agencies like banking sectors, there are funding agencies like venture capitalist funding, there are funding agencies like seed funding for your startup. So if you have good idea, that is such a wonderful initiative where you can scale up to greater heights actually, right? That is what I always believe. And the person who's sitting next to you might be the co-founder, person who's sitting in front of you might be the CTO, your friend in your college. Sitting next to you might be the co-founder of your company. A friend who's sitting in front of you might be the CTO of your company. Why I'm saying this is you have to understand from this perspective. Everyone has their own thought process. Each and everyone has their own positives and negatives. According to that, you have to frame those responsibilities and give it to certain persons. And if you are able to take up a leadership, then you can take up the roles actually. So today itself, we have any good idea, we have any good product to be showcased to companies or showcased to people, showcased as a product to come. As a customer, probably you can take it up immediately. There are a lot many supporting agencies today. I think like as an interactive session, I think like I have given to convey. I mean, I just wanted to know many things from you people so that what just you wanted to know so that I can make you understand about the real scope of entrepreneurship beyond education, beyond skill-based education or something else actually. So I think like the host can go ahead with the questions, whatever you have, and I can at least interact for the next 1.5 hours. That is not a problem. But still, at any point, I have to understand what exactly you people need. According to that, I have to answer all those queries. So let us have an interactive session probably. So I think the host will do the questions, or else we can take up certain steps to go through the things actually. Host.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think like you have certain topics to be connected. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. 1 minute. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute and ask.
I just want to check actually. You have framed any questions on this? That too, you told that it's going to be interactive session, so that I just want to know actually. So I have given a brief about a few things, also my journey and other things actually. I just wanted to know that whether you have any things to be asked or.
Sir,
Everything. Yeah, I got it. See, Vegroot is profitable. I mean, we have certain equal gain and profits for the farmer communities, whereas they don't need to hire, they don't need to go for any middleman engagement, whereas we don't have fixed pricing actually. So also we give the best pricing for the farmer communities apart from what they get from the market prices. Also, as a consumer, if they are going and they are going and purchasing in some nearby outlets like retail outlets or might be supermarkets or hypermarkets, they might get it for 12 rupees a kg of tomato. So, but I sell it for 9 rupees probably. So 3 rupees will be profitable for the consumer. Also, we have quality checks. We have we don't have charge for deliveries. Also, we help farmer communities to support it with the right pricing actually. So everyone are getting benefit out of this, and we are growing in the similar scale as of now. I think like I'll go ahead now because I don't think like there'll be many questions. Yeah, anyhow, I'll go ahead now and I'll complete within 15 minutes time. So then you can ask any questions if you have. Yeah, and to talk about sorry.
yes, sir, continue, sir.
So to talk about the entrepreneurial, journeys during the social development of every entrepreneur, it is always the lifeline of a nation. Actually, you have to believe that it's always a lifeline of a nation. Also, it has certain growth for this, country's economy. So always you have to be innovative. It's not just about having a mobile shop. It is not just about having a juice vending shop or nothing else. Actually, it's about having innovative product. It's about having creative ideas. Whereas you always have to be very crazy in terms of ideating something better actually. And probably you also you shouldn't just think about making profits or just not about generating capitals for a startup. But beyond that, it is about identifying the opportunities in terms of product or a service, and converting, generating a good idea, or might be getting into evaluating of the whole idea. Then you have to get into planning of the whole startup actually. So startup has different perspectives actually. Might be one on product sector and one on service sector. So we are completely based on service sector. Whereas what made me to choose this particular domain was something like during the pandemic last year, I had good scope of growth in terms of farming, agri-tech based strategies. Also, many companies aren't into agri-tech space. So also when I applied for for a growth with DIPP and the Startup India, I had been recognized by agri-tech on agri-tech space actually. And raising of initial capital was the initial, the struggle which I really faced during the first phase of my startup. And probably beyond that, it is always about building from scratch. So entrepreneurship is not just about having, loads of money and having loads of cash, and starting from scratch is always the best way of building something better. Actually, I think like as already I told you, you should always have such a good mindset. Saying like the concept of entrepreneurship is always like start with what you have, do what you like, and do what you know actually. And always I wanted to brief you something, you have to be skilled in something, you have to master in something. That is what I believe. And probably the importance of entrepreneurship in today's world is, the world is thriving towards getting into a job, getting into a salary-based initiative. Whereas you'll be earning 20,000, 30,000 rupees a month. It doesn't even satisfy your life actually. So I always wish to tell that it refers to process of starting a new enterprise, or to create such a good product having value for people actually. So by investing your time and efforts, so it all takes so many steps to be coming forward. So I always believe that don't go beyond salaries or don't go beyond money. So always go beyond ideas, always go beyond skills, always go beyond the risk factors, which might be challenging, but it has good intention of growth at some point, right? And talk about few initiatives that you might come across, that you people might have to think about. Well, there are not many financial risks, but every great people. So I know my very good friend. You people also know because they also work at Tirupati, and the brand is so called the Naturals. Actually, it is so called the Naturals, and it is a saloon-based initiative. Where they started in the year of 2005-2006 basically, and he's Mr. C.K. Kumaravel. He's Mr. C.K. Kumaravel who started the initiative. He's the founder for that, and he started with his wife. They together started the initiative in 2005-2006 actually. And what they did was like they created a wonderful salon initiative to connect many posh people into posh crowd into the salon actually. They charged around 300 rupees per haircut, and probably people started accepting it because three things which people always wanted to define as the pricing, quality, and time for every initiative, whatever you take actually. So these are three mantras for success always. So they followed three mantras of success, and today they have closely around 1,300 crores of revenue every year actually. So see, it is always having the desire for responsibility, what you have given to your consumers or you have given to your customers. Also having high degree of commitment with certain consumers, whomever you approach or whomever you consider as your customers. So also you should have higher energy levels, whereas you will have good scope of growth at some point. Always take up so many responsibilities and take up. You always have to be a risk taker, whereas you will definitely be a leader in that particular domain. And it is always like you have to be optimistic, you have to be enthusiastic, you have to be a risk taker. Always you have to come across many challenges. It's always about seeing anything in large scale, seeing anything in longer domains of scalability. So it is always about innovative risk factors, whatever you take. So there are many business people who have come across many failures in their life probably. So, but I wish to frame 2 years of MBA within 5 minutes actually, which I have learned. And being an engineer, I didn't go to MBA because I always believe that there is good scope of growth when it is being learned practically, when it is being skilled initiative. So yeah, to talk about the 2 years of MBA in just 5 minutes, I just tell you a few things actually which might be helpful for your startup when you start growing it. So you have to be a good marketer, whereas you go study MBA for 2 years. You can be a theoretical oriented person, but being a practical oriented person, you always have to have good thought process in terms of in terms of having thought process of being a good marketer all the time. So when you come across many struggles, during during the MBA of 2 years of MBA, you can come across strategies, you can come across operations. So always be a practical person by implementing lot many ideas on the field, lot many ideas on the ground, so that you can come across many fear factors, and you can reach many successful things in your near life actually. And I have a question to answer. I think which domain? Yeah, that's what I told actually. Domain boosting might be on food, might be on tech-based initiatives based on education initiatives, might be hands-on learning methodology, and also you can work on agriculture. You can work on technology-based agriculture, farming and initiatives, and also beyond that you can start working on. Uh, Might be you can start working on healthcare based products for hospitals, for rural healthcare centers. There you have good day, and probably beyond that you can work on sanitation, you can work on cleanliness, you can work on precautionary measures based initiatives, whereas you have good scope of growth. These are few domains, but don't invest a lot on anything. Just start with from scratch and come across many struggles. So you will have good idea on that, how to grow beyond and beyond. So these are few domains which I see that it has a good scope of growth within next few months of time. What entrepreneurial tricks have you discovered to keep you focused? Yeah, it is not about the trick actually. It is always about passion. Passion should become your profession at some point. That's what I believe. And keeping me focused, I was literally like a person where I had take up so many things on my mind, and I started working on that. But at some point, I don't even think that I can be successful by taking so many things at one point. So I had to focus on only one particular thing where I had good scope of growth actually. And I had focused on completely on one thing. I don't rely on revenue every day. I rely on growth. I rely on teamwork. I rely on particular innovative factors. Whereas it has good growth after a few years. So having a busy schedule the whole day, I work for at least 18 hours a day. And one more point to add is like I have vaccinated yesterday, so I'm not that well to interact with you today. That is the high reason I couldn't convey a lot actually. So yeah, I think like productive day, since I start my day early in the morning about 7 o'clock. I think by ending up about 11 to 12 o'clock in the night, probably it is about 15, 16 hours a day of work. And the whole day of work has so many struggles, so many challenges. Every day as an entrepreneur, we wake up to so many challenges. By handling 100 people, it is such a big challenge. But still, being a 25-year-old guy, hailing from a middle class background, I always have a dream that, it is not just about having 100 people, it is about having 100 families beyond. So we have huge responsibility. Obviously, we have to work, we have to be very productive. So I read books, I take care of my works every day, I attend meetings, I travel a lot. So during this pandemic, during the second wave of COVID, I couldn't travel, but still everything happens online. And also I explore a lot. I work mostly, I spend 2 hours a day on LinkedIn. I spend 2 hours a day on LinkedIn, social media platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook and other things. That helps a lot for me for my growth of my startup, in fact. And probably beyond that, I keep on learning something better every day. So I keep on exploring something. In fact, I don't wait for an opportunity. I start exploring opportunities. Yeah. What are the biggest mistakes made by startup entrepreneurs? Probably one biggest mistake might be a startup entrepreneur might get funding for that particular product to be developed actually. So what they do is like they invest completely on luxury-based initiatives, might be on, they spend a lot of their time on, thinking about what can be done next or what can be done further. But they don't think about what exactly the customer needs today, what exactly the problem statement is being identified, what exactly solution has to be given to certain people, so-called customers. Or these are few mistakes which have been done by the entrepreneurs today. And also beyond that, don't invest on unwanted expenditures which might become a backfire for you at some point of time. So you have to be very keen. You have to be a marketer. Initially, when you're starting a new company, when you're becoming an entrepreneur, initially you have to be a marketer. You have to be, you always have to work on the ground. You always have to be a strategist. Everything you have to take care. Actually, it's not about having 100 people and giving all the works to them and sitting. It doesn't even work here. So it is always about having, taking up many responsibilities upon you. You have to learn everything, because tomorrow if you don't have any employees with you, so probably you should be ready to adapt to anything. So I think like these are few mistakes being done by entrepreneurs. So every work has to be known by you. Every domain has to be known by you, even including accounting has to be known by you. So being an entrepreneur, so that is how although if it also becomes late, if it also doesn't work, then you can take it out. Good morning. Being an entrepreneur, how do you handle a less responsive employee dealing overall? See, it happens actually. Every employees are not the same. Even we don't take our employees as employees actually. So I initially boost 4 different activities. First point goes for I actually credit salary within 30th of every month. Actually, I don't make them wait until 7th or 8th of every month, because they do have their own struggles. And even if I don't have money, also I help them out by crediting all the salaries to all the employees across destinations actually who work with us. And beyond that, we make them skilled actually. Instead of making them theoretically strong person, we make them skilled. We make them practically strong person, so that we might have we might see good scope of growth at certain time. And if it is going to be delayed at some point, I see that there might be 2 different things for the delay. One might be the financial constraint of the particular person, or second might be the things which you as a company you could have not given to him, actually, him or her as an employee. So these are 2 things might be delay for the work for the particular employee, or might be due to lack of skills or due to lack of initiatives, which employee might not be skilled on that. So obviously when you see him or her as an employee, probably as an entrepreneur, you should always have one thing in your mind, that he or she should be 100% skilled. According to that, you have to work and you have to deliver him at the right time. So it is about an operational activity from start to scratch, having 100 people in between. So each and everyone has their own responsibilities. Even one delays, the whole initiative will be getting delayed. So we prioritize our works every day. For every employee, they prioritize their works every day. Where one secret to share here is, I will share a secret to you, because you also should handle this. People do a mistake always. First point is like we take up the easiest work on the first for the day, and probably beyond that, first thing is like we take up easiest task for the day, and at the end of the day we do the toughest task actually. But don't do that. Always take the toughest task for the day, or on the first start itself at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. in the morning. So complete the toughest task, or might be it seems to be impossible. So complete at early as possible in the morning itself. Then take up the least much as possible in the daytime actually. That is what I wanted to add here. And what key activities would you recommend entrepreneurs to invest their time in? Probably they might invest time on getting into skill-based learnings. They might invest time on networking. They must invest time on meeting people. They should have invest time on connecting the right set of people to the business. Also, they have to work with customers directly. They should go meet customers directly. They should definitely invest time on that. Also, they have to be an avid learner. They shouldn't stop their learning at any point. So being an entrepreneur, we always keep learning. So I have 100 plus books nearby me. So all the time I keep on learning. I always keep on learning about the inspirations actually. So because about the failures that people have faced actually. So probably from the failures of every successful entrepreneur, you can learn too many things. That is what I always believe. So they have to follow these kind of steps, which definitely will be helpful for entrepreneur communities today. What exactly do your organization or company does? Already I told you. I think you might have gone through. Piece of advice to someone just starting it. Yeah, start with what you have. Do what you like and do what you know. Don't wait for an opportunity. Waiting for an opportunity is always like waiting for a boat in the desert. So never ever wait for an opportunity. So always think about from the scratch. So always get into the right problem statement. Whatever you see it as a problem statement, start working on the statement. Start building the right solution. Let it be a product. It can be a service, not a product. Whatever it might be, but do it with your full heart. And probably beyond that, don't let the right people into your organization. So the person who's sitting next to you might be the co-founder. So hire the right team of people. So these are few things which initially an entrepreneur should follow. Don't go beyond money. Everything depends on the ideas and the scope that you have today. How do you build a successful customer base? We always treat customers as God actually. And also beyond that, I directly interact with my customers. I have personal connect with all my customers, probably 50-60% of my customers. I take up many responsibilities to reach customers in direct and in different way. Probably after the service which we provide, after we deliver the vegetables, we don't stop. We don't stop. Talking to them. We don't stop conveying the message to them. We always get in touch with them. We always make them happy. We give them the good offers. We give them good solutions for them always. And probably beyond that, we be very responsive to all the messages, all the calls, whatever we receive from customers. And through word of mouth marketing, it reaches out to many customers across different destinations, probably. And we also have social values in our organization. We have employed transgenders actually. That will be very precise on our website. That will be very precise on our LinkedIn pages actually. So we have also employed transgenders, which is also social value for the customers to buy from us, to be a customer of VegRoot. Also beyond this, we have different innovative solutions. Being a youngster, customers are ready to support us all the time. So these are few steps which we take up to grow the customer base of the company. What are the best resources to help a small business identify? See, there are a lot many resources. Best resources might be starting up from the scratch. Identifying the right potential sales perspective. I always think like you can get into a social based platform. You can get into direct selling. You can get into indirect selling. You can get into trader based selling. You can get into dealership based selling. You can get into franchisee based selling. There are a lot many things can be done through the different sales perspectives actually. And probably there are 5 different initiatives in which I would like to mention one thing. It can be like take a petrol pumps today. So that will be like company owned and franchisee operate. You have to spend around 20 lakhs or even until 1 crore for that particular petrol pump, and you have to you become a franchisee holder for that, and it be for the next 50-60 years down the line. You become a franchisee partner for that actually. So that is again one kind of business growth that you have. Also, the company also has in that particular initiative. So there are a lot many things that can be identified as potential growth perspectives from potential growth perspective. But also beyond that, when you become a direct seller to the customers, so you become good in between by growing yourself. So I think like create your own brand, and according to that, start building your own products. So then you start marketing your own products, because you only know your products, wealth, your products growth and other things actually. So yeah, what motivates you all the time? I think like I always motivate myself. I don't have any other motivations. I go for a long drive every weekend. So I work hard for the whole week. I go for a long drive. I travel a lot, and I meet many inspirations. I used to meet many successful people across India. So like many Padma Shri, Papa Mal, like 105-year-old, grandma who recently got Padma Shri. So there are a lot many inspirations. I used to learn from them. I used to network with them. I used to go travel with them, because by getting motivations from them, I gain a lot of energy all the time. Also beyond that, I used to read many startup failure stories. In fact, like not like successful stories, what people usually read today. So I either that I think like I motivate myself. There will be no one to motivate you. Instead, you have to push yourself beyond and beyond to be successful at some point. Which is your greatest fear? I don't have greatest fears actually. I think like fear will defeat you at some point. So don't have fears at any point. So I think like fears might be one fear might be initially when I started. I had only one fear. We don't have money. We are starting a new business. What happens if we are not able to serve our people who so-called employees? That was the one fear which I had. But beyond that, I had good product being developed by the company. So within a month time, I had to reach it to customers, become a bootstrapped company. Recently raised a funding of over $1 million recently. It is about 6.7 crores of funding. And I had only one fear that I already have termed. I think like you shouldn't have any fear in your mind and heart. You should always be very brave in whatever steps you take. Don't wait. Time and tide wait for them. That is what I have to, and you have to understand here. And don't have fears at any point of time. Fear will definitely kill all your ideas and all your skills. What are some best books? Books I used to suggest is like You Can Win by Shiv Khera. That is the one book which I had recently read. I really love a lot. You Can Win. It is so-called You Can Win by Shiv Khera. It has lots of motivational factors in between. It has lots of interesting facts. It has lots of self interesting books. It is such a wonderful book which I recently read. You can definitely try. It has been written by Shiv Khera. Yeah, the best author across. Sir, what has been your satisfying moment in your business? So every day is satisfying. Every day I feel very satisfied. Whenever my customer feels very happy, I feel satisfied. So yeah, we keep on understanding our customers. We keep on changing our moments actually. So I don't feel that I am satisfied with the money that have been generated, so-called the revenue what we have today. But beyond that, I always feel satisfied when my customers and my employees feel happy. Yeah, that is how I feel satisfied every day. And probably when people start accepting your ideas, when people start accepting your models, and people start accepting your, people start encouraging your ideas, and that is the high time where you feel satisfied. I think it's not just about earning money. Vitamin M is always just a source of income, might be. So making money is very easy, but building successful business or building the right set of people traveling along with you is again such a toughest factor which every company faces today. So having right set of people is the most important factor of building such a good business all the time. See, being a student from a college can do wonders. So you should have a good idea. You should have good solution for the problem statement, whichever you have defined. Probably your final year project might be the right solution for your startup actually. So even your pre-final year project might be the good product for your startup. So having the right set of idea during your college studies is the right product idea. So go beyond and always have when you start at very engaged, you have long vision, you have long-term goals, you have long-term responsibilities. In fact, so definitely, I think having a good idea during your college days might be the right set of growth beyond and beyond. So I have launched all the ideas during the college days. It was not about having an employment of about 5 years and getting into business. That it never happened actually. I haven't been into any companies for any employment opportunity so far. But still, being a youngster, I was able to build such initiatives. So I think the college will be the right time for every student to build such wonders. What are similarities between the characteristics demanded of an entrepreneur and professional athlete? See, there are different perspectives in between. I think similarities between the characteristics demanded of an entrepreneur might be it is a crucial question to answer, but I'll try. Although a professional athlete might have the right set of idea, might have pre-planned things actually. But being an entrepreneur, we don't have any pre-plannings. We don't have such initiatives in our hand. Probably whatever comes in our mind, we'll try implementing it. We'll try adding up, so many factors in between. And we are all unplanned all the time. We don't have, being an entrepreneur, we don't have certain plans for the next 10-15 years. We don't have certain growth actually. But being a professional athlete, they always have certain plans that to be framed actually, and they always go on with the flow. They don't mismatch. They don't have any backdoor operations. They don't have any backdoor initiatives. But being an entrepreneur, we always come across many things which adds values, and probably beyond that, we always come across unplanned initiatives. That is what makes us to be a challenging. And I think I'll take up this as a last question, because it is about 12 o'clock. I have a meeting at 12. What are the factors that affects the success rate of small businesses? So factors that affects our small businesses might be, even it is not just about small business, or the large business. It's about whatever the business you might take, whatever the business people might run, should be a tech-driven initiative. Tech-driven might help you to grow beyond and beyond. There might be 20% of success rate affecting. Second might be without even understanding the strategies of what people come across, what people have going through, what startups are doing today. Without even understanding all those initiatives, people just being a small business, they just go beyond thinking about what can be done. So they don't have huge dreams, and these are few interesting factors which might affect the growth of every small business today. So it is not just about small business or big business, but according to the growth of technology today, you have to adapt to those technologies. You have to adapt to those, the long-term factors. Also, with technology adoption is very important. First of all, second point might be financial understanding is second important factor. Third might be you have to think about long-term goals. You have to always have huge dreams. According to dreams, you have to work beyond and beyond. So these are few factors that might affect the success rate of small business. I think you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm very much happy to connect with you all. And any internship opportunities also, we are available. We are open for internship opportunities, and I think I have answered few queries that you had. And if you don't have any clarity on this, probably you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'll share you. I think we'll wind up the questions actually. I have a meeting at 12 o'clock. I have to go now. And
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I request all the participants to turn on your video and keep your audio in mute and smile for the group selfie with sir. I request all the participants to turn on your video. Yeah. I take the opportunity to pull my gratitude into words on behalf of IEEE Reach the Unreached Art and Educational year, reaching the local initiative. We are truly humbled by your numerous insightful contributions to this session. Contributions of such a caliber can only come from a true genius like you, sir. We would like to express our profound gratitude to you for taking out your precious time and consenting to be the speaker for today's session. Thank you so much, sir.
thank you. Really good. It's really good. Thank you so much. All the very best for every one of you, and best wishes. If you have any good ideas, if you have any good startup ideas, let me know. I'll be happy to help you. I'll be happy to invest on that particular startup idea. So thank you so much, everyone. All the very best, and stay safe and take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.